2 quizzes, right? And each of these quiz will carry 10%. And it will be held somewhere second week of June and maybe the last month, just a week or so before our break. Our end of the semester. So we're going to have the 2 quizzes. Okay, 2 quizzes, and each quiz will carry 10%. All right. Okay. So that is our plan, and today kita akan continue. We're going to continue with chapter 6. Let's stop this one first. Okay, before ada soalan before kita proceed dengan kita punya discussion. Yeah, sure. Good. Abuse of power. Dua isu lah. You come up with the 2 issue. Satu, sexual harassment. Kan? Satu lagi, you nak kaitkan sexual harassment. No, you nak kaitkan sexual harassment dengan issue of abusing the power. Correct or not? Betul? Siap betul-betul? Itu I agak macam tu. Ha? Yalah, abuse of power lah. Kan? So you nak combine these two issue together, kan? I know your main issue is sexual harassment. So you nak kaitkan the sexual harassment is which come with another issue of abusing the power. Correct or not? Correct or not? Betul kan? So you nak kaitkan dia hasil daripada sexual harassment tu, it started dengan abusing of power. You nak link abusing of power. Ya, usually macam itulah. Kita selalunya abuse of sexual harassment selalunya is involve people at top. People who have power. Sexual harassment. Sama-sama rakan sekerja ada isu dia, tetapi kebanyakan kita kata sexual harassment is come from issue involve management. And management selalunya dia akan guna dia punya kelebihan on power lah. So meaning that the abuse dia punya power. Betul tak? So you want now you punya argument macam tu. Sekarang you tanya saya whether boleh tak you letakkan dua tajuk ini together. Boleh, jawapannya boleh. Tapi ceritanya ada link lah. Bukan dia satu je cerita tentang abuse of power, satu lagi sexual harassment. That tak boleh lah. And what you can do is you combine together, the issue come together. The issue of sexual harassment and the issue of abuse of power. Dia ada link. Nampak? And I believe you buat macam tu. You nak linkkan this issue of abusing power toward sexual harassment. I believe group you akan buat macam tu. Correct or not? You tak buat separate maksudnya. Kalau you buat separate tak boleh lah. Mana buat apa you nak buat dua isu yang berbeza. Kan? Isunya actually the main issue is sexual harassment. Kan? It's support, kita panggil support with the issue of abusing of power. Kan? Itu, kalau itu you letakkan, you nak buat macam tu and you nak letakkan dalam topik you, sexual harassment and abusing of power, boleh lah. Clear? Okay, right. Okay, ada lagi soalan? Ya, another 2 weeks lagi. Tak sampai pun. For your submission. Nanti di another few days, saya akan masukkan apa I punya address. For those you want to courier to me, the hard copy, so you must send it to the correct address, right? For those staying in Sentok, dalam campus, tak ada masalah lah. They can send it directly to my office. And so, nanti I masuk juga dalam WhatsApp my office, bilik I nombor berapa, 260, and dalam blog SBM lah, School of Business Management. Okay, itu nanti saya masukkan dalam WhatsApp group lah. You apa? So my address, if you want to courier anything, you want to send by post, so you akan guna that address lah nanti. Okay, kalau tak ada apa, kita proceed guys dengan kita punya chapter 6. Boleh nampak tak? Yes. Boleh lah. Alright. Before that, kita just go recap sikit apa yang kita discuss dalam this topic. Topik ni adalah kita punya fokus tentang issue of customer and production dan dengan marketing lah. It involve orang kata approach yang kita akan deal dengan customer in business. How kita as a customer, apa yang kita punya hak, right? Kita apa ke isu-isu yang that we face as a customer, usually lah as a client or the buyers, kita apa ke isu-isu yang kita selalu face. So ada antaranya yang kita cakap itu ada these few lah kan. Kita fear dangerous and risky product, barang yang kita beli, goods that they will buy that involve risk and dangerous, deceptive selling practices by the buyer. This is something, it's normal. It's normal. Actually, it's what we call issue commonly yang kita jumpa, that we face. And as a buyer, as a customer, you face this issue, a lot of this issue. It's not something new, but this is something that yang kita very affect us very much, it's on the product itself, how safe the product that we buy, and the practices of the sellers, the deceptive, cheating, that kind of thing. This is the one that we also face, and poorly consulted product, the quality of the product that we buy. And these are all the issue, right, that we face all the time. Okay, failure to honor the warranties, deceptive, unpleasant advertising. So this is all this issue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 issue. It involve from the process production itself up to at the end, which is marketing. For example, deceptive and unpleasant advertising. This is marketing, right? Part of marketing. One of marketing is advertising, right? One of the way how you advertise, you market your product through advertising. This is the thing that we always face the problem, the issue of ethical issue. Okay, and very much we be exposed to few approaches, right? Okay, one approach yang kita belajar itu is market approach lah. Market approach simple. All these things, the issue all that we face, actually we can overcome that through the market itself, right? Macam kita safety issue, the market will decide. We determine what kind of safety that we want. This is what we call market approach. So without any intervention from the third party, kita tahu bahawa it can be only, not only it can be the best way of solving the solution of this. Let the market decide. But and the characteristic of let the market decide, it should be no other party intervention, right? Especially the government, no what we call the third party, the intervention of the third party. Tapi in reality kita tahu bahawa that doesn't happen that way, right? I mean zero intervention from the third party. No, we cannot find it anywhere in this world, even in so-called what we call free market in US, in Europe, that kind of thing. The intervention of government is still there. You cannot run off that. Tapi at least we know there are certain a big portion of kita punya right tadi come from the market approach tadi lah, from the market approach. Let the market will decide. As I mentioned just now, the safety of the product, the market will decide. I give you one example, good example. One example last time, right? Last meeting about last week on the issue of buying the vehicle creator. We buy creator, we buy vehicle, motor. in motor industry, the producer of motor in motor industry, they give us choices. We the one who decide and the level of safety of our product, our car. We want a basic one. Okay, you have that, right? You want be extra safety features, for example, airbags. Okay, here we have the model for that, a series for that. Right. So this is one good example of what so-called a market approach. All right, we have done that. After that, the second approach that we discussed last time is contractual approach, right? Or the contractual theory. Okay, it's about the contract, the agreement that we have between us as a buyer and the whoever, the developer, the customer, the producer. So this is what we call it contracts approach. Contracts approach or theory. Kita ambil one good example is when you buy um, house. You beli rumah. I don't know, most of you tak beli lagi lah. You not come to that stage yet of buying the house, right? Your parent buy the house. You can see that when your parent buy the house, actually that is very much we involved in this what so-called contract approaches. We have come with an agreement with the developer and kita as a buyer. And kita kena buat perjanjian. There is kind of payment, that kind of thing, involve lawyer, right? They have some documentation, and we have to know what is the duty of the developer, what is their responsibility on our part, what is our responsibility, and all the things. This thing is kita boleh tengok ni what we so called is approach, what we call contract approach. So very much contract approach is about agreement. Agreement between the two party. Okay. And of course, kita cakap dulu, kita tahu kalau cakap tentang contract is about relationships. So sekarang kita nak tengok the quality lah. The beauty about contracts approach is we depend on the quality of that relationships. If we have a good quality of that relationship, meaning that we are safe enough, we are good enough, right? As a customer. But we have not so good of relationship with the other party, then it's not really tadilah. The situation is not to our favor. Okay. Depend on the relationship. What kind of relationship? So we call it the quality of the relationship. So very much the contracts punya theory, these are few things, a few characteristics, few elements that usually we take into account when we have that agreement. The contract tadi very much we focus on these few items, few things that be agreed upon. For example, the reliability of the product, and kalau how safe is the house, how good the quality of the house, what the features that they provide in for our house. All these things must be there in that agreement. The service life, right? The maintainability, and how long they will take care of our vehicles. And this is something in the form of agreement. Duty of disclosure, right? Meaning that dalam contract means approach, the one key thing is everything about actually data information must be disclosed completely, and tak ada something hiding punya, behind the screen. Tak ada. Everything must be exposed. Everything must be clear. Duty of disclosure. Disclosure very much you're talking about information lah, about information. Duty not to mispresent, no such thing of trying to hide something, cheating, that kind of thing. Mispresent means try to cheat. Dalam agreement tadi ada certain parts of that is not clear, and the intention is try for cover up, that kind of thing. This cannot be allowed in the contracts punya approach. Last one is of course lah, you cannot be forced lah to agree on that agreement. Nobody can force you to agree to that agreement. So ini kita dah go through, right? And last one kita before kita, if I'm not wrong, kita pergi ke this concept, correct? Huh? Have you talked about this concept? Caring, I think yes. Betul tak? Have you discussed on this market? I'm sure
Yes,
we're done with
Doctor.
that. Apa ni, concept, I think I'm quite confident we're done with that. And the third one is the one, due care theory. Have we done with this? Due care, caring theory, concept of caring. Have we discussed on this? Yes or no, guys? I'm quite sure kita dah
Yes.
discuss. Kan? Dah kan?
Yeah, Doctor. We stop at the problem with due care theory.
Okay. Meaning that's 2 slide ahead. Okay. Meaning that we already on this third approach, right? On what so-called due care theory or caring theory lah. Kita pemahaman daripada awal lah. When what we mean of due care theory. Meaning that is a step, what we call it is the best step, right? Kalau kita punya producer, sales people, you know, the makers ke, and manufacturers ke, developer ke, if they come to this stage, right, and they take this, they subscribe this concept, so we can consider that we are the lucky one, and we can consider we are the lucky as a customer, we are lucky one, because caring is something yang kita we know lah, caring, the word caring itself, right? When you are in that condition, in that situation, kita rasa kita very safe enough lah, kan? So dalam konsep ni, of course lah, kita cakap tentang kalau cakap on product, on safety, so the makers ke, the developers ke, taking all the steps, and take all the measures to make sure that the end product tadi is a very safe product, a very safe product. Kalau kita tengok, for example, right, even when we buy house, right, rumah, right, either the developer tadi memang subscribe this what we call on caring punya concept. They won't allow any situation that will harm us, that will harm us in any conditions towards kita punya rumah tadi. But tapi sekarang ni kalau you tengok, developer have put enough effort. They are really subscribe to this theory. When we always we be exposed the issue of unsafe, orang kata housing yang unsafe, not safe enough, the quality of that house, very poor quality that involve the safety issue, meaning that if this is the one is the situation in something like this, definitely we know that this developer doesn't subscribe on the issue on the what's called the caring issue, caring punya concept, and caring concept is that's why at the end of this caring concept ni, they put dia punya position as macam dia as a parent, right, taking care of the kids, meaning where they will give the best that they can. So this is what the concept of what so-called the due care theory. So you can look into this, right? For those, developer, seller, or whatever, right? How they come to this concept is they take care all the process. It start from even from the designs, macam rumah lah, on how they design the house, so they take from that point until sampai the rumah tu siap, until they market the house. Kalau kereta, they market the product, any product, right, until to the marketing levels. So all this process, right? They take they are seriously taking into account to make sure that the product that we have, and the product that we have is the best product that they can give to us. Now, it is what I call, because they subscribe to this, the meaning of the word caring, the word of caring. Um, as I said, kalau most of kita punya business people subscribe to this what we call this concept, very unlikely lah we are facing right now. I mean, the damage, injury that we facing right now, right? That cause all those dan kita dapat injury, harm, we have issue of safety, that kind of thing. It shouldn't be lah. Tapi right now, we know very few of these business people take into subscribe to this what we call concept. Subscribe to this concept. So this is one of the best. I said, why is one of the best? Because next one is better. Okay, the next concept is much better than what's you call a caring concept. This one for us is good enough, very good. The concept is if we love if the developer, the customer, the producer, whatever, on business people subscribe to the caring punya concept. But we are more happy, we are more satisfied, we are more if they subscribe to another concept later on. Okay, now. Okay, as mentioned just now, we already discussed the problem of the due care, right? Due care theory. It put some very much burden to the manufacturer, the maker, that kind of thing, right? So much burden, so much responsibility they have to take on that. Okay, then it put the manufacturer in the paternalistic position, meaning that dia consider kita ni as a kids, and so put the burden as a, kita tahu lah, as you not yet come to that stage of being a parents, right? Parents lalunya kita banyak we be involved of responsibility, the burden that we have to carry as parents to the kids. So that kind of situation, that's what we call, if the business people subscribe to this concept. All right, now, as we know just now, I said if they subscribe, they are the best that we kita rasa they one of the best, and we love to have the business people subscribe to this concept. What more if they subscribe to this concept? This concept, you call it a social cost concept, or view, or approach of the manufacturer duties to the customer. Ini very much on duty. Sama juga yang tadi. Duties of in the due care concept or caring concept, their duty is to give the best, the best kind of product to us. And after taking on all those from the design stage sampai pada markets, marketing. And this stage, this concept, social cost view ataupun approach is much better. Why? Okay, look at this. The view that a manufacturer should pay the cost of any injuries. Okay, in this approach, manufacturer should pay the cost of any injuries caused by the defects of the product, even, this is the word, use the word this, even if the manufacturer exercise all the due care in designing, making, and marketing. Okay, see, one step ahead. This manufacturer already subscribed, have taken all the measures dalam concept, what we call it, just the concept of caring just now, and start daripada designing sampai marketing. After done all these steps, right? If any injuries happen or harm happen, the customer, the manufacturer also will, it's their duty to pay for that cost. They will bond then that the cost of that injury or harm. Even though the risk yang dia tak boleh foresee, tak boleh predict. Kalau berlaku, of course, kalau dalam proses carrying, actually they already predicts, they already measures, right? They try to minimize as possible, on the issue of risk, dangerous item, that kind of thing. They're taking care of that. Tetapi kalau berlaku juga, kalau on that stage, dalam dia ambil cuma dia subscribe to that policy, that concept, carrying concept, meaning that kita akan bonds lah. I mean, the customer, dia try their best, but if berlaku juga any injury, kita yang bond. The customer will bond that cost, right? But here is no. The concept of social cost, kita no. After taking all the steps of carrying, masih lagi berlaku, and the thing that yang mereka cannot predict, they cannot measure, they subscribe to this, that they also will bond the cost of that injury tadi. Meaning that they will pay for the injury. So this is the thing, this is the best, the best of the best lah. Product injury are external costs. We already discussed on this. Right? We already know what the meaning of social cost, right? Social cost is the what? When external cost plus what? What is it? Social cost? The combination what of two costs. What dia? Cost apa? Nice. Social cost is what? The combination of two costs. What mix with what? Nice. Are you there? What is social cost? I thought I tak explain. I think kita dah belajar dah dalam chapter before, chapter on environment.
Private internal and external costs.
Okay, that's good, right? A combination of the mix of external costs plus the private cost, right? Or internal cost. That is what so-called a social cost. That external cost is a cost of, when we discuss in a context of pollution, environment, that pollution is an external cost. Correct or not? Similarly, here, when we talk about injury, harm, right? The injury and harm is actually external cost. The cost of injury to produce the product, right? If this concept is applied, when they produce the product, they already take into account of the external cost. They already pay the cost of injury. They already pay the cost of harm, right? Mostly, most business people, right, when they come up with a product, they only take care of the private cost, the internal cost. We are the customer, actually pay for the external cost, mean the cost of injury, cost of what we call a cost of harm. Correct or not? So, but in this approach, right, in this approach, business people take care of the external cost. Take care of the external cost. You know, the private cost is about, to produce the cost to produce the goods or the product. That is private cost. When they add this one together, the word we use, internalization of the cost, meaning that it add together before they determine the price, the price that they want to sell. That is what we call a social cost. They mix already, yeah. Before they sell the goods, right? The price of the goods, they already, include the external cost. Meaning that they pay for the external cost. But as we know, most business people, they exclude this one, the external cost. Meaning the cost of injury, cost of harm. They only take care of the private cost. Ini kita dah belajar dah itu. Sama, the same thing apply. Cuma the word only different. Last time when I said external cost, we're talking about pollution. Right? The cost of pollution. But today in this context, kita cakap the cost of injury. The cost of injury or cost of harm, actually that is the cost of external cost. Okay? Now, product injury are external costs. that should be internalized, as I mentioned just now, kan? As the cost of bringing the product into the market. Okay, before they pergi ke market sell the product to us, they already take into account this external cost. This maximize utility and distributes cost more fairly. So what kita, tapi sekarang ni kita yang kita pay, we don't realize, because we don't realize that actually we pay for the external cost. Kita rasa that is fair enough, but actually if you know you're right that about talking about tadi injury cost, that kind of thing. Kalau kita masih kita yang kena bayar, meaning that this concept is not apply lah. Meaning that business people don't apply on this, they don't subscribe to this approach. Tapi kalau kita tahu, okay, you ada injury from the outcome of using the product, okay, maybe you can claim back the injury from the insurance, that kind of thing. We know, and we know that kita punya manufacturer, the makers subscribe to this what so called social care punya social cost punya view. Okay. Now kita tengok the criticism on that. Tadi kita tengok the criticism of caring punya due care punya concept. Very much the responsible, very much we put too much responsible to the manufacturer, right? To the makers, to developer. Similarly, here is apply. It said unjust to manufacturer or the makers. Since compensatory justice said that one should compensate injury parties only if the injury was foreseeable and presentable. Kita tahu kita ambil insurance because kita foresee and what might happen. Then that one different. Ini because that policy of insurance tadi not borne by us, bukan kita yang ambil. We buy that product, kita don't take that ni. Macam kita beli kereta, we take that policy, we pay for that policy. If something happen to our car, something happen kat kita, the insurance we pay. But we have to pay the premium, of course. Actually, we pay, we bond with that. That is not what we call a concept of social cost punya concepts lah. Kalau concept of social cost, kalau kita beli kereta, if the car damage or something bad happen to her, incident kita injury to us, kalau manufacturer kata, no, okay, you use the car, you buy the car, we pay anything. Then we know they subscribe to this concept. Tetapi tak jumpa lagi lah any company, any car company that pay for our injury. So that's why they kata they go beyond, more better than. Kita nampak the caring tu dah better, but it's much better. Because kalau dalam concept of compensatory justice, kita kata tadi, one should compensate injured parties only if the injury was possible. Boleh diramalkan, we can see. Kita beli kereta, that's why we foresee that we might involve sometime, maybe kita ada involved in accident. And the government come up with a policy pula that the rules that kita kena ada insurance. That's why we buy insurance. Because at least they protect us. Kalau apa-apa berlaku, if something happen to us or something happen to our car. So actually we bond the cost of that injury. But now it's different, right? So we put all those responsibility, the burden of compensates whatever happened to the product, what happened to you when you use the thing, to the manufacturer. Ini dia kata tadi. Satu that criticism meaning that too much burden, too much responsibility given to the manufacturer. Fully assumes that the social cost view prevent accidents. Kita rasakan okay, bila kita dapat benda tu provided free, kita rasa okay, that we prevent, give us some satisfaction, we're happy with that, and of course kita akan lebih rasa the protection is there. And but actually in reality dia kata assume, okay, actually it's falsely assume it to be going like that. Tetapi ia akan create satu condition, satu keadaan where they call it carelessness. Carelessness. Kita try. Because kalau we know that, everything will be borne by the kita manufacturer, kita automatically, kita don't really be careless lah on our safety, on our on to try to prevent the injuries. Tadi kita feel so confident that everything kalau berlaku, someone to pay for that. So if we create a situation, they call it carelessness lah, kan? Carelessness, kita cuai, kita rasa kita tak bertanggungjawab, kita kurang ambil tanggungjawab of protection. Ini yang akan wujud. And we can create this kind of situation if manufacturer, developer subscribe to the social concepts lah. And on our part, kita rasa we want, for our part, we say that we love, we want that. These business people subscribe to this concept. But the downside of that adalah macam kita discuss just now tadi lah. If we create a situation that we become careless. Continue on that, dia kata has increased the numbers of successful customer lawsuits, right? Because the agreement is there. Kalau apa berlaku, we can claim. Because actually the social cost punya concept where they pay for that. So kita tahu kata they subscribe to this concept. If something happen to us, kita akan it's our right to claim back. And these are lawsuits lah, lawsuits. So there are cases when a manufacturer, subscribe to this concept and some type of agreement with them and they compensate. Kalau dia tak compensate, kita boleh sue dia apa lah. And selalunya kita sue, kita menang lah. We win. Because there can agreements on that. That kind of agreement. As a social cost concept, usually they come out with agreement. In other words, social contract punya approach juga it come together. Usually dalam social approach, social cost approach it come together dengan concepts of contract concepts it come together. Concept ni agreements lah. Talking about agreement. They agree that if something happen to us, they will pay for that injury. So kalau dia tak ni, kita sue them. And kebanyakan menang lah. The customer won on that lawsuit. Tapi dia kata di sini, actually it's not many. And even the manufacturer subscribe to this concept, not many of lawsuits. Tak ada sangat claim tadi yang berlaku. Mean that kita claims on that. Because that everybody understand the agreement is there. Okay. Response shows that only small increase in lawsuit and insurance firm remain profitable. Therefore, definitely we know maybe compensation tu bukan katalah manufacturer dia subscribe to dia mesti dia beli protection, dia ada protection dengan insurance lah. Kalau apa berlaku, the insurance pay for that. So the damage to the insurance company itu of that is taklah kata so significant. Meaning that if the business people subscribe to that concepts, and the insurance company still make money. So tak ada lah issue kata when there are so many lawsuits, unless there are so many lawsuits, tapi in reality there are not so many lawsuits and not many claim, and so meaning that the insurance company still can do business and still can make money of that policy lah. Alright, kita sekarang ni kita dah done. Sekarang kita pergi dah last part, which marketing lah. And when we talk marketing, apa yang kita akan the significant part of marketing, the end thing is advertisement lah, advertisement ataupun advertising. So kita sini kita akan look into what is actually the meaning of advertising. Kita tahu bahawa advertising is actually a simple. Is a process of communication process. Kita dah belajar lah. Semua kita tahu belajar tentang communication. It's just as simple as, it's actually not simple. It's actually a communication process. A public communication. Okay, a public communication. Kita tengok kita ada belajar communication process kan. Daripada mana dia ada channel dia kan. Which one the best, that kind of thing, sampai from start sampai the user, sampai yang dengar tadi. Okay, the public, the meaning, the definition of advertisement, here I said, a public communication aims. The objective is at the last social group. Advertisement, of course, dia bukan, we advertise not to 10 orang, 5 orang. Our aim is to try to, to disperse kita punya information to masses, as many as possible. As many as possible. So people dapat that information. To induce member, and at the same time, the objective to induce member. Induce maknanya lebih kurang influence lah. Try to influence of the audience, the public's audience, jadi to buy their product. So advertisement is as simple as that. Tak ada aims lain. There's no other reason, other aim, other objective. Advertisement talking about is just telling the public that please buy and influence us to buy their product. Simple saja. Simple. Dia guna pun je proses je pun simple. The direct communication process toward a group of people. Here publics lah, masses, as many as possible. The attention, the aim is when they listen that kita punya advertisement tadi, they will buy our product. It succeeds by creating a desire for the seller's product, or believe that a product will satisfy pre-existing desire. Advertisement is creating a desire. The aim is by creating. The objective is create something yang kita hendak. Yang kita ada desire. Desire maknanya in bahasa kehendak. We want. We want something. Keinginan. Keinginan. Desire ingin. We want something. So the process is simple. Create a situation that we influence our desire. Or dia kata pre-existing desire. Desire ni advertisement create a new desire or pre-existing desire. Kenapa you go window shopping? Okay. Kita pergi window shopping without that, not of tak ada satu reason kata ni kita pergi window shopping kalau kita tak ada any desire. Kita tak ada sebab, kita ada aims. Saya saja pergi window shopping. No, actually kita tak realise. Kita pergi window shopping, dan kawan kata, jom, I tak berada duit tapi jom kita pergi window shopping. We're not going to buy something. Kita, no, I don't think I want to buy anything. Tak apa. Right, it's okay. You just go window shopping. So dalam window shopping tadi, of course lah, you pergi kat mall, ada lah advertisement on that dress, that kind of thing, Actually, it create a pre-existing desire. Kita ada dah keinginan, your friend asking you to go together with him or her, actually, that your friend already have that pre-existing desire to buy something. So, the advertisement is just as a trigger saja. As a trigger untuk dia hidup balik dia punya desire, right? And create balik dia punya that pre-existing desire. Ataupun objektif dia tadi, okay, advertisement dia create new desire. Kita memang tak ada langsung niat nak beli baju, but looking on that advertisement, kita rasa, hey, I want to buy new dress lah. That is new desire, create a desire. On top of that, advertisement also can create, as I mentioned just now, the pre-existing desire. Desire already there, just to trigger, yeah, just to trigger the thing. Okay, the criticism of advertisement based on social effects, right? Apa dia yang downside of advertisement? One of that is it debases the taste of the public. And debases meaning that decline, reduce our values and our taste. Meaning that they violate sikit lah, meaning that advertisement sometimes they put us to a situation that kita hilang kita punya values sikit, reduce our values, decline our values, not reduce, decline, decline our values, nilai-nilai kita. Tetapi counter to that, dia kata kalau decline, kalau betul true, advertisement decline our debase our desire, tapi debase tadi dia kata tak to come to the extent of moral issue, and not fall to the moral issue standard. Kita dah belajar itu kan. There are two when talking about moral. Ada dua, satu moral standard, satu lagi one is moral standard, one is non-moral standard. Moral standard tadi meaning the injury is there and the harm is there. Kalau non-moral standard, mana injury itu tak ada lah, kan? Not much effect on the moral. That issue, non-moral issue. So walaupun kita accept, kita agree that advertisement might debase kita punya taste tadi, tapi not to the extent of that we create we create the issue of moral issue. If we create a moral issue, tak ada. So tak apalah, walaupun dia create a situation that decline, yang kita panggil the basis ni dia kata decline kita punya taste, kita punya values lah. Okay, inculcates maknanya dia mendorong kita, it drive us towards materialistic values. Kita subscribe. Kita lalunya bila kita terlalu looking on advertisement, it try to kita jadi satu individu that eventually dia create kita jadi more on looking on materialistics, on materialistic. Everything must in the form of material. Kalau bahasa kita, we looking on kebendaan lah, we are individu who look into thing, benda. And so ini ada sikit it might create some ethical issue in that. Okay, tak apa. Okay, kita tengok sini. Respond this criticism, ignore the lack of evidence that advertisement can change people's values. Right. Counter to that, people said there is not much evidence that from advertisement dia boleh create kita punya values tadi, and from kita yang bukan materialistic kepada more toward materialistic. Dia kata tak much evidence to show that advertisement will create that kind of situation. Meaning that kita katalah kita not materialistic person, advertisement not much can affect us. Not much the advertisement can influence kita to change our perspective on things. So this is what we call the argument on that. Walaupun kalau ada, yes, we can see that kalau ada evidence, that is we can talk about ethical issue on that. Tapi kalau tengok yang dua-dua ni kata tak ada lah non-ethical issue. Okay, continuation of this. Advertisement based on now just now on individual, now is towards social effect to the social. What advertisement effect to the social? Here it said cost selling cost that unlike production cost do not add to the utility of the product and so waste resources. And kita tahu bahawa advertisement is nothing to do on production cost. It's actually we pay for that, Bukan kita tak sedar bahawa actually we pay for the cost of advertisement. And we know advertisement actually quite expensive. Right? That not borne by actually, by of course, yang keluar advertisement is the producer. But actually we pay for that. We are the seller or the buyer, we pay for that advertisement. And that cost, tak ada apa added value. Kita kalau customer, what you want is something yang can give something to the product, and added value to the product. Maybe better quality ke dan sebagainya. But advertisement cost tak ada apa, nothing. Kan? The product is the quality of the product macam tu ya. Tapi kalau the cost of that, the money they spend of improve that products, that one tak apa lah. They give the advantage. We get the benefit from that. But actually, advertisement cost, with advertisement, they give not much benefit on that. It's not much. We don't get actually zero benefit from advertisement. Respond that this criticism and know how advertising can increase consumption be is good. Okay lah, that's true lah. And what the reason of advertisement so that we can buy. Kita lebih beli pula, bukan kita they try to increase not to buy one, buy many. And so that for business people that is good for them, but not for us. Customer kita tak dapat the extra value from the advertisement as we discussed just now. On quality we don't get better quality. So very much on the cost of advertisement is kita, tapi kita bayar, we pay for that, right? It is used by big firm to create brands loyalty. Kalau sekarang ni banyaklah kita kata advertisements, their focus very much of try to create a situation that customer loyal to the brands tadi lah. And macam I kata lah, for example, handphone, right? They are the loyal buyers and customer that loyal to the brand of the handphone. Some loyal to Samsung, some Apple, right? So that is your punya loyalty. Macam mana ada apa, walaupun more expensive on the same function that you can get very much cheaper, but your loyalty to the brands that you know, and that yang tadi lah much cheaper, that kind of thing, because and very much that kind brand loyalty tadi, big company lah, they be able to do that. Macam handphone Apples, right? They be able from the advertisement that they can influence you, they control your psychic desire, so that they can brainwash you so that we loyal to their brand. Kalau handphone tak beli dah other brand. And for those yang loyal to Samsung, you will buy Samsung. And even it's more expensive than the China made. Banyak saya tak tahu so many now brand of handphone. So it is the thing, we create this kind of situation. Tapi dia kata respond to this criticism, no study shows big monopoly or oligopoly. Of course, brand ni selalunya kita boleh links to the big company lah, kan? Macam Apple, big company lah. Samsung, they also whether they monopoly ataupun oligopoly, they are big company. Do not advertise more than little firm. Meaning that dalam advertisement is the proof that this big company dominates on advertising. Dominate on advertising. Actually, small firm, middle-sized firm juga quite active in their advertisement. Cuma kita sometimes for those yang tak kisah on brand, we very much focus on that tadi lah. Maybe on a small company punya, middle-sized punya company punya, right? That's why say, for example, I don't mind beli any brand as long as cheap, as long as they have function that I can use. But no point, there are so many function here. Handphone saya ni pun, anak saya yang beli, I cannot even use, I don't know all this function, and I cannot apply this function. So what if I beli benda ni, I tak beli lah, kan? Maybe I beli Samsung, but not this model lah. Suppose kata okay lah juga, nak kata yang top sekali pun tak juga. Tapi I tak akan beli lah with this price. Alright. So you see how advertisement play the parts on influencing kita. Alright. Okay, now yang ketiga, criticism of advertising based on the desire. And tadi, what is the effects on individu? The second one, what effect to the society, group of people. Now the third one, what effect on our mind? Okay, dia kata, criticism of advertising based on the effect on desire. Desire is something from inside lah, from inside. Advertising create psychic desire. Psychic desire is involve our mind, our mental. Unlike physical desire. So kalau physical desire is easy, right? You tengok, we know. But advertisement sometimes kita tak nampak pun. Yang kita panggil nanti, kita panggil buat so-called subliminal advertising. Subliminal advertising meaning that dia punya advertising, dia ada some kind of tak clear. Dia very tapi ada dia punya reason why. Subliminal, what we call it subliminal advertising. Tapi nanti kita come to this part. Okay, advertisement create psychic desire, meaning that desire based on our mental desire, unlike physical desire. Physical desire, that's something that we can see. We can see, kita nampak. You want to buy this product because it look to us it's good. We see that it's good. Applicable and unlimited. Applicable is tak ada limit, sama lah actually. Tak ada limit. Tak ada something yang decline. Unlimited. Kita forever in our mind. And here it says psychic desire are created so form can use us to absorb the output. It's not advertisement. Dia punya focus, dia aim on physical desire. Very much on try to put thing inside our head. Setengah advertisement tu just using the song saja, music saja. It put that music into our head. Ini yang kita panggil subliminal advertising. Use certain hiding punya technique. Right? Using this way treat us as a mean and not at the end. So it's unethical. So dalam psycho punya attempts to psychic us in the using of advertisement, there is unethical. Because they treat us as a mean. Mean maknanya alat lah, as a tool, not at the end. Because it put inside our mind something, ada sikit gangguan on our mind. And that is very unethical. Very unethical. And bukan at the end, not as the end, meaning that not straight away project us, influence us to buy the product. Tapi ada sikit mengganggukan kita punya mind. Right? Respond to this claim, say that this criticism in no studies which suggests that non-subliminal advertising cannot create and manipulate desire in adult. Non-subliminal ini adalah advertisement yang open lah, yang tak ada attention to create something yang behind the story, behind the screen, ataupun yang tak clear. Subliminal ini yang tak clear. Subliminal advertisement yang tak clear. Kalau dia macam tadi, dia guna music ke, dia guna slides ke, apa-apa yang behind, dia ada cerita story behind dia punya advertisement jadi. Tak clear. Kalau di UK, dia subliminal advertisement is illegal. They have to be non-subliminal. Non-subliminal meaning it have to be clear what you want to advertise, for what reason, and that kind of thing. Tapi dia kena apply, dia kena advertise dalam form of subliminal. Macam saya kata tadi lah, subliminal is illegal because dia ada different story behind that. Dia ada different meanings. Macam dia bagi contoh lah, dia baca buku, dia bagi contoh, dia advertise rokok, tobacco, cigarettes. Dia guna, at the same time dia guna Ferrari. Dia advertise as Ferrari. So this rokok actually the main idea of advertising. So kita tanya, what is the link between tobacco and Ferrari? This what so-called subliminals punya advertising. Yeah. That is obvious, and dia dalam teknik dia pula obvious. Dia try to link between, Ferrari, kita tahu Ferrari is kereta yang high end, very high end punya kereta. And so what is to do tobacco dengan high end punya kereta Ferrari? Sama juga yang kita question on deceiving of, nanti kita come to that part, using human dengan kereta. What to do? Humans, beautiful women, dengan beautiful car. So this is the thing. Okay, we're done with that. You said, the criticism, that studies which suggest that non-subliminal advertisement, non-subliminal advertisement yang clear, even yang clear pun dia kata bukan, and it cannot create some kind of desire, manipulate our desire, right? What more kalau dia dalam bentuk subliminals. Okay, macam mana nak berlakunya? So that's why here there's a requirement of deceptive advertising. Dia mesti ada kriteria dia. When you want to come up with advertising, start from design lagi. Kita tahu lah advertising is, you have to design, you punya advertising, nak guna apa dan sebagainya. In dalam masa design lagi, you already have an idea that your advertising tadi adalah, your aim is to deceive. Ini patut dah, you panggil use, your aim is to deceive you punya client, you punya customer. Mana deceive, mana nak tipu lah, kan? So you have in your mind. Cuma sekarang you nak design ya. So the first dia kata mesti ada author. One criteria of deceptive advertising, mesti ada author dia. Mesti ada author, master dia, the planner dia, mesti ada. Orang yang ada author yang ada author yang nak, memang dia plan to deceive. Mastermind lah, kan? Dia mesti ada mastermind. Yang advertisement dia memang attention dia to deceive the customer. And author who unethical, memanglah, kan, bila nak deceive, unethical lah. Dia plan, maksudnya dia ada plan. Intends to make the audience believe what is he or she know is false. Because dia nak tipu, tapi dia nak buat satu advertisement that to the customer dia, so that customer nampak itu betul, tapi he know, kan, itu tak betul, that false. Memang dia attention dia nak deceive. Cuma nak make it look, to make it to believe, untuk bagi satu keadaan yang we believe that is true. Okay, by means of intentional act of utterance, dengan tahu kelemahan kita, dia intentional or utterance. Kita ambil contoh, dia advertisement on toys, right? Advertisement on toys. Kan dia tengok toys, dia buat advertisement, the toys kata plane, the plane will fly. Kereta racing car, dia tunjuk racing car tu dalam advertisement boleh punya laju. Very fast. So dia punya advertisement, they know it's not true. They know that toys cannot fly. They know that racing car tadi it cannot run at that speed. Tapi dia tahu the audience dia siapa. Audience dia punya audience adalah kanak-kanak. They cannot, they don't have enough knowledge, the ability to know that is wrong. Benda itu not true. So dia believe that is true. Ini yang kita tadi, he or she know, the author tadi, is false. They know that toy cannot fly. They know the toy is cannot speed, cannot run at that speed. By means of intentional of utterance tadi. Cuma dia nak bagi kita, the customer tadi, believe that is true. Sekarang kita ambil toy, lah, the kita tadi adalah kids lah, kanak-kanak. We cannot, because they don't have yet a knowledge, the ability to knowing, and on that kind of that situation or the advertisement tadi. Media or intermediaries who communicate the false message of the advertisement. Ada bahan juga not enough. Dia mesti ada media. Mesti ada tools. How to disseminate that advertisement. Macam mana nak sebarkan? How you want to discharge that advertisement? How you want to make people look into that ni? Sama ada media tadi, sama ada dalam bentuk TV ke, dalam bentuk sekarang ni banyak lah media punya ni kan, dalam Facebook ke, dalam I tak tahu lah, tapi banyak we know. Mesti ada media, special media yang they will use to channel this what call this information, this advertisement. An audience who is vulnerable to the deception. Ini yang ketiga ni, an audience. They already have ada targeted audience. Macam tu kalau targeted audience dia adalah kanak-kanak lah, kan? To the deception, who lack the capacity or recognize the deceptive tadi. Kadang-kadang tak dapat, tak ada tadi. There are lack of capacity, lack of knowledge, and to recognize that what be advertised tadi tak betul, is false. Okay, this is yang kita boleh tahu yang kata so-called deceptive advertising tadi, kan? Dia mesti ada kriteria ni, kan? They must have that criteria. Sini ada 3 kriteria. There are 3 main criteria lah. Dia mesti ada author who design such a way and such the advertising, and that advertising dia memang they design so that the everything is knowing that it's not right, it's not need, it's just false. The information that yang bagi tadi adalah false. Dan mesti ada satu bahan sebaran, a channel to pass to channel that message. Sekarang banyak lah, kan? That's why kita tengok dalam e-commerce banyak, kan, menggunakan advertisement yang deceptive, because they have so many channel they can use. You block this one, they use this one. You ban this one, you use this one. So there's so many channels, right? So that's why kita tengok dalam ni a lot of issue of people being deceived by, in other words, by being cheated by these business people dalam e-commerce lah especially. And kita because of tadi lah, uterine kebodohan kita, ignorance kita, and lack of knowledge kita, so kita be easily exposed to this kind of deception. Alright, kita ada sikit masa lagi. Important of consumer privacy. Okay, kita go back to the right lah. The issue of our right. Our right yang paling penting adalah kita punya policy lah. Privacy, customer privacy. Okay. Protect individual from the disclosure that can shame, interference in one privacy life, hurt loved one, and lead to self-incrimination. So, as a customer, kita is our right to have our privacy. And that's why sekarang kita takut because the using of this kind of technology, especially on internet, that kind of thing, kita takut bahawa kita punya privacy have been exposed, been violated by these people, especially business people. Sometimes kita question, kita ambil contoh lah, macam we taken this one normal lah, macam selalu I terima satu message, satu call ke from a company, insurance ke ataupun tourist punya company, call me and they know my name, exactly my name, then you know I kerja apa, they know my income, they know a lot of my data lah, so the question is where they get all this data. Ini yang kita cakap, because this is my right? I tak mau disclose, but mesti ada third party yang disclose that information. Disclosure of that. Mesti disclosure kita rasa very uncomfortable. Saya baru terima baru last 2 weeks. And one, I thought that is scams lah, scam. Call me and about my credit card, right? Dia ada even know my credit card punya numbers, exactly I kerja apa dan sebagainya. You see. Just imagine. That is jatuh dalam scam lah, scam punya ni. And they ask me to pay to buy one insurance, right? I kata I tak pernah lagi beli insurance. That's regarding on a credit card, I have to pay. I must have an insurance. So you see, kalau kita tak faham, kita lack of knowledge, kita might be be a victims on that scam. So, yeah. Dia kata I kena beli because of that credit card, I have to buy. I punya credit card dah nak expired. Dia kata you have to buy insurance for that credit card punya coverage. Saya kata never in my life I kata I nak pakai credit cards. The company ask me to to buy insurance. And terus berhenti di situ. So this is the thing, right? Yang I takut tadi lah, my IC they are very clear. They have my IC. They have all quite the numbers of my data tadi, my name, where I work, even some the range of my pendapatan. It's scary. So the question now, who exposed? This is what we call it customer privacy. Kita punya data. Alright. Enable the intimacy that develop a personal relationship, the trust and confidentiality that underline the client professional. Ini kita bila kita bagi that data, kita trust. Contohnya lah, bank definitely they need all this data. So kita bagi kita data with the trust that they will protect our data. Tetapi kalau kita tengok data kita be violators, this the scam people want to dapat kita punya data, then kita question. Where is the right of our privacy tadi, customer privacy tadi? So this is the thing you boleh baca ni lah. Ini yang kita duk, we are very I use the word scary. Dalam keadaan sekarang lah, scary yang kita tadi lah, where kita rasa kita punya privacy right have been, as a customer, been violated. The trust that we have between us as customer and the business people. Kalau sini, I tak tahu where they get that. I rasa come from the bank itself lah kan. Because yang issue credit cards for the banks, how they know my credit card, even expiry date, and on top of that my IC, and the numbers yang paling menakutkan, the number of credit cards tu pun dia ada, they have that information. See, this is, kita kena tengok balik lah. So in fact, I made a complaint lah, tapi biasalah, whether they take it seriously or not. Tapi dia beritahu that is scam, dia kata scam. Tapi how that can be kalau scammer, dia mesti dapat from somewhere. Alright, okay, tak apa. We continue with this last slide for chapter 6. Balancing right to the privacy and business need. Ini ya, kita kena balance up kan. At one hand, we want that privacy right. We want the data is safe with us. But at the same time, dalam business, of course, they need that data. So we have to balance up lah. Satu, data is the purpose of collecting information is legitimate business need that benefit the customer. Adakah katalah bank minta that data, adakah that data will give us the benefit of that? Kan? Yang kita ada legitimate tak? They ask that data. Sometimes dia pun minta something yang kita rasa there is nothing to do dengan kita punya dealing business with them. Kadang-kadang you tengok, even bank pun dia minta data yang kita question, this data don't think ada any links dengan things yang I nak deal dengan you. So this is what you call, mesti ada collecting data a legitimate business need. Kena yang ada legitimate lah, sah, for that purpose only, for the purpose of business tu tadi. Is the information that is collected relevant to the business need? Adakah relevant? Adakah relevant to business need? Kalau tak relevant, why you need this data? This kita akan tengok ni. We have to see this. Is the customer informed the information is being collected and the purpose. Is the customer informed the information? Adakah mereka let us know what the purpose of that information, for what for? Kan? Untuk apa collected, for what purpose? So we have to really serious on this. Especially you apa lah, ni, did the customer consent the information disclosure? Ini yang saya kata tadi. Adakah saya bagi consent the information I give to them, kata ada contoh bank, to disclose this data to the third party. Tapi yang kita rasa ada berlaku itu. How come, macam mana yang kita kata tadi lah, the scammer can even access to that data. How can yang come up with storage punya agency come have that data, buy their product, that kind of thing, Because yang kita bagi satu tempat ya. Dekat universiti pun tak bagi I punya credit card punya numbers kan. Of course lah banyak I punya ni ada kat universiti lah banyak data. Tapi not credit card tak ada lah. Kalau universiti minta credit card, tanya for what kan. Tapi I'm quite sure lah, banks definitely lah they have that data. Is the information accurate? Adakah information yang dia minta tu untuk betul, accurate, ataupun information yang kita bagi tu accurate? Is the information secure or not disclosed to recipient or used in a way which the customer did not consent? Ini yang the last one ni yang kita sekarang ni have to very serious on it. Adakah kita bagi consent on that information to be dispersed to somebody else? Okay, kita habis dah. Alright. So kita next week kita akan sambung dengan chapter 7 and chapter 8. Kita akan cuba habis. And just for those yang datang lewat, tadi saya dah cakap on quizzes, kita ada quiz. I use the word quizzes. Instead of one quiz, kita ada 2 quiz. And kita akan ada out of that 4 component of your carry mark, ada quiz that carry 20%. So quiz kali ni not like last previous semesters, dulu semua 1 saja, but this time kita ada increase the percentage of that quiz to 20%. And so saya akan buat 2 quizzes, and very much next month lah. So maybe second weeks of the June and third or fourth week of the June lah. And before kita break, kita habis end the semester, before you go for your final exams lah. Then selalunya so that I can break into 2 contents dia tadi akan break into 2 lah. Maybe the first test carry chapter 1 to 4, second test the quiz will be 5 to 8, something like that. Okay guys, kalau tak ada any question you want to ask, kita ada few more minutes, something like 5-6 minutes. Yes, ada soalan tak? Okay, siapa yang belum sempat tadi? You can scan now. Seperti biasa, siapa yang needs me to manually include you dalam your attendance, you can do it now lah. Hantar sekarang. Technically, you tak boleh scan ke? Ada soalan tak? Kalau tak ada soalan, sure, tak ada soalan lah. Okay, tak ada apa. Okay, insyaAllah kita jumpa lagi next week. Alright. See you then. Okay. Assalamualaikum. I will stop the meeting. Okay guys, okay, thank you very much. Kita jumpa lagi insyaAllah next week.
Thank you, Dokter.
Sure.